So something that comes up a lot when you're in the BPM world is how do you get process diagrams to sort of look clean and not have cross lines and sort of communicate clearly the intention that you want for an audience that is hopefully not only consisting of engineers. So I want to talk about how I do this and sort of how I think about it. So basically the way that I normally do this is I try to create space. I try to create symmetry. And then every time I have a gateway, what I try to do is use it as sort of an opportunity to open the mouth. So over here, for example, I have a gateway, and I'm going to use this to kind of open the mouth up. So it creates kind of a jaw. And then the next item is here, so I'm going to use that as an opportunity to create a jaw. That comes over here, so I'll use that as an opportunity to create a jaw. I'll see where this line is headed, and it looks like it's headed to this guy, so I'll use that to open the jaws. And I can see over here some of these lines can be cleaned up a little bit, so I'll do that. You can see it's already starting to clean up a little bit. Okay, so now this opens up here. I'll use this as an opportunity to open the jaws a little bit. When I say open the jaws, what I mean is basically split every time I get a chance to see a binary action. So here we are. This goes this way. And this is a little bit confusing. So again, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to open jaws. So one jaw goes up here. Now this one goes here. So these guys end up in a line. This comes over here. There we go. And these guys converge. So I'll put them like so. This line goes over there. Typically, you're going to want your end over here. So it's a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, where certain pieces go. The start and the end are kind of easy. You start out in the center with the start. You start out the bottom right with the end. Now we're starting to get somewhere. Okay. So now we come over here, see where these guys are hooking up together. This goes over there. This goes over here. Here we go. And now what I'm doing is I'm kind of trying to line things up in sort of a balanced way. So for example, if these guys are over here, I'll balance them, pulling them through a little bit. So there's a little bit of sort of aesthetic distance between these guys. If these guys are part of the same jaw opening, as it were, I'll try to make sure they're on the same line. This guy comes up over here because we want him to be symmetrical. He's a little bit more forward, so he goes that way. We try to line up this guy with the guy on top of him. Come over here. These guys are symmetrical. Now ideally, I'll get these guys kind of lined up together so it has a sense of balance. There we go. This comes over here. This is starting to get a little bit better. Can't quite tell where this line comes in. Looks like it comes in this way. And this guy here is going to have to be on the right side of the gateway because typically we want to move forward. And forward typically in Western culture means to the right. So I'll put this guy over here, line this guy up, bring him down here, see what I can do about getting these guys into a line. There we go. All right, this is starting to look and feel a little bit better. I don't love this. All right, so let's start cleaning this up a little bit. I'm really trying to build symmetry while respecting sort of the rule of thirds. The idea that there's a sort of aesthetic balance in terms of the distance of one item from another that can be utilized. So bring this over here. Try to line these guys up. So I'm going for symmetrical balance, both vertically and horizontally. I think I'm getting there, right? So yeah, here we go. Let me bring this over here. So, okay, so now we have a clear picture. We have a diagram where lines don't cross. It's clear how you get from one step to another. And, it's not askew. It's not off balance. The items that are sort of in the same rows and the same columns line up together. So the reason that I think this is important and not just a trivial exercise, though I do find it satisfying, is that when you have a clear diagram like this, when you have gateways that look reasonable, when you have a flow that can make sense to your business, then you're more likely to build consensus between the technical folks and the business folks about what should actually be happening. And in my experience, that can only be a good thing. Okay, well, thanks very much.